All right. I am really late trying to get this recorded, but I'm going to cover a new episode of my own opinions, which may or may not be unpopular within the magical and Hellenistic communities. This time around, I scoured through TikTok and videos there, and I can say that there's a lot that I do not agree with that is being pushed out there. I'm not going to mention the creators or the channels that I found these topics on, but I'm going to simply stay on the topics themselves. Before I get started on these topics, if you're enjoying the content, be sure to check out my website at www.echoesfromthetemple.com for more. And if you would like to show your support to the channel, be sure to like, subscribe, and consider sharing this video. It really helps to get the videos out there to more people. So one thing that seems to have never gone away is the idea that people are born witches, or they're naturally born witches, whatever that means. Now, I recently discovered that there are an abundance of, quote, signs that you are born of witch videos out there, especially on TikTok. Now, you may be naturally drawn to specific things, but that alone does not mean that you are a witch. You may find that you are naturally drawn to different things in life, such as mechanic work. But before you actually learn how to work on a vehicle, you're not a mechanic. That goes with everything. Being drawn to the practice of witchcraft does not make you a witch. You may also have all the knowledge in the world from books or personal study, but that alone does not make you a witch. You become a witch or a magician when you actually step into that role and get your hands dirty. Then and only then can you claim the title of witch or magician. But let's get into this. This is my list of 20 absurd things that people are passing off as characteristics of natural born witches. Number one, if you prefer to be outside in nature, you're a witch. The manner in which someone was raised will play a huge role in how they feel about being outside in nature. I grew up personally running through forests, climbing trees, and building tree houses, where my wife panics at the mere thought of being in contact with a bug. Now, I did, however, turn out to practice magic, but I was not the only one out of my childhood friends who grew up in the same manner. While I am the only one out of my childhood friends that ventured down this path. Number two, that if people are drawn to you, then you are a witch. This is simply a charismatic quality found in some people. I was never a charismatic person and was a loner for the majority of my life. Now, I know a lot of people who practice magic or witchcraft that do not draw people to them. Now, I will say that there's a point in time where people are drawn to you from your practices, but this tends to be when you are spiritually elevated. People are drawn to these people without knowing why, but it's as if they are a beacon of light shining through the darkness. Number three, that if you question everything that you hear, you are a witch. Now, in this day and world that we live in today, you cannot afford to not question everything that you hear. You can't even get factual information from the news channels, as depending on which political side they lean to, you are going to get a modified version of the story. Sadly. Number four, that if you have a love of the paranormal, you are a witch. Just because you have a curious mind for what cannot be explained by science at this time does not mean that you are a witch. This is the same thought process that we often condemn when we look at history, such as the so-called mad scientist that explores an unexplained field of science. Number 5, that if you have a love for crystals and collect crystals or stones, you are a witch. This is absurd. Collecting rocks does not make you a witch. My grandmother collected rocks to the point where she had aquariums filled with them from over the years. She would find different stones from places that she would visit and bring them home. As a child, I have memories of walking through the gravel driveway looking for rocks that had any holes through them or may have had fossils to add to her collection. But my grandmother was not a witch. Number 6, that by claiming you are a witch, then you are a witch. Just because you state something does not make it so. It's no different from one saying that you're a ceremonial magician, but having no idea how to open a ceremony. Claiming to be a witch and throwing some herbs together while reciting a rhyme is not magic alone. Having the knowledge does not mean you hold the title. There must be action taken. Number 7, if you like to walk around cemeteries, then you are a witch. There are people who enjoy the supernatural and look for proof of the supernatural. There are those who call themselves ghost hunters. These people are not witches. Number 8, if you hear voices, sometimes inaudible and sometimes clear as day, you are a witch. Now, I have to say that if you are hearing voices outside of your own imagination, go see a doctor. These people who make these videos and pretend that the gods are speaking to them directly are misleading so many people. I've had someone try this years ago during a brief encounter, and this person had no idea who I was or anything about me. And when she began talking about how Aphrodite talks to her, the wind blew and she claimed it to be Aphrodite. Number 9, if you love to dance around a fire in the nude, then you are a witch. Practicing skyclad or being nude has absolutely nothing to do with being a witch. It is actually more of a hindrance to practicing if there are others around. You cannot get past that it is a distraction and an unnecessary distraction at that. The idea that clothing hinders our energy, but we can direct our energy to affect change throughout the entire world is complete nonsense. Clothing does not prevent you from practicing magic. Don't use it as an excuse to be naked or in the nude or skyclad. And if you are a member of an organization that tells you that you must practice in this manner, you should probably question that organization. Number 10, if you can sense the weather changes before they occur, then you are a witch. This is something that everyone can do if they simply pay attention. You can literally smell the rain in the air before it comes. The problem is that as a society, we are digitized. We don't pay attention to the physical world as we once did or the way that we should. Number 11, that if you believe burning incense will purify and protect your home, then you are a witch. Now, depending on the type of incense, it has its own correspondences, which may or may not be for purifying or protection. The idea that simply burning incense will purify a space is inaccurate. This goes into what I've stated before as well, that just because you feel that something is used for one thing does not mean it is. Learn the correspondences of different incense and herbs before you try to use them. Number 12, if you always have your tarot cards with you, then you are a witch. This is nothing more than a cry for attention. Unless you are using them in your day-to-day life, They shouldn't be paraded around where everyone can see them. I have numerous tarot decks, and for the most part, they stay on my desk, wrapped in cloth, and stored away until I need them. Number 13. If you have a bloodline of practicing witches, then you are a witch. As much as we would all want this to be so, it is not. Just because someone in your family practiced magic before you doesn't mean they pass something on to you that makes you a witch by birthright. Now, when you get to the point where you can call upon your ancestors for assistance, those specifically will be good to turn to. Number 14. If you feel it is a calling to help others around you, then you are a witch. There are a ton of people in professions today that are occupied by those who feel the calling to help those in need. This does not make them witches. Number 15. If you are an introverted person, then you are a witch. Being an introverted person is a personality, not a defining characteristic of being a witch. Number 16. If your energy is positive, then you are a witch. You can be the most positive person around, but you will always have bad days. There will be times. There will be days when your energy is off and you don't feel like yourself. But regardless of how positive you are at all times, it does not make you a witch. I've personally met Christians who were very positive people. Not few and far between, but I have met them. They're not witches. Number 17. If you hate crowds of people, then you are a witch. There are a ton of people out there who are not witches that hate crowds. It's called anxiety. This is nonsense to put claims on personality types. Number 18. If death fascinates you, then you are a witch. This is a new one that I've never heard before, but it is complete edgelord bullshit. There is really nothing else to say about this. This is complete nonsense. Number 19. If you prefer silver over gold, then you are a witch. This is nothing more than a personal preference, as gold has its place within magical practice, the same as silver, since gold is associated with the sun and silver is to the moon. Number 20. If you have more energy during the night than you do during the day, this happens when we screw up our natural sleep patterns. All of these screens that we watch throughout our days and even at night produce blue light that tricks our brain into producing serotonin when it should be producing melatonin. This has nothing to do with being a witch. There have been studies done on this, so don't take my word for it. Go look for yourself. So there you have it. 20 of my personal opinions on these TikTok videos with what makes you a witch. So what's your opinion on what makes someone a witch or a magician? What is it about them that actually sets them apart from others? Plain and simple. It is the fact that they do the work and not merely talk about it. Like I said, having the knowledge is one thing, but applying it in one's life is another. None of these things mentioned in this video will make you a witch or magician. And anyone that posts these videos that claim otherwise, they're just looking for views, nothing more. So what are your views and thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. Also, But until next time, be sure to come join us over at Echoes from the Temple Discord. Invite link is down in the description below. So, till next time, Salate.